and welcome to my art room. My name is Gilliam, and I thought that I would show you today kind of evolution of my artwork. I've been an artist all my life, but I went to dental assisting school instead of art school because art really wasn't supported by my mom. After I got married, I left home and I got married. After my son was born, I went into dental assisting school. I went to adult education dental assisting school, and then I had developed an allergy to latex gloves in the 90s. And then after my daughter was born, my second child was born, I started to develop an allergy to all gloves. So that pushed me out of the dental field and did odd jobs here and there. Um, but I really didn't start getting serious or tapping into my art until she was probably a couple years old. Um, it just felt like art kept tapping on my heart, and I believe the saying that says, "If it's your calling, it will keep calling," and art has kept calling. So when she was a couple years old, she was a toddler. I decided to do these paintings of my kids, and that one is my son, and this one is my daughter. And I remember a friend came over, and she saw these, and she said, "Wow, you missed your calling," and that really got to me because I thought, "Wow, maybe I did miss my calling." And so I started dabbling into art again, um, and more of the illustration route. I had an idea of doing some Bible verses with some scenes, illustrated scenes, to go along with them, and I sent them to 3 different companies. I got the Illustrators Market. I can't remember the name of the book. I got that book and I looked and saw all the companies that allowed you to have submissions without having an art agent. And of course, I didn't have an art agent at the time. And so I sent my work, one of my illustrations with my Bible verses, to 3 different companies. And they were nice when they sent back a reply, but said that my work wasn't what they were looking for. And so I thought, along with my friend saying that you missed your calling, and then, the different companies saying thanks, but no thanks, I cried for like 2 days. And so after that, I thought I'll have one more go at dental assisting, even though I was having to do cortisone shots and creams on my hands. I went back into dental assisting. During 2020, my mom had passed away at the end of the summer, and the studios that I was doing paint parties and things for, they went out of business. And so I thought, I just really wanted to get back into my artwork. It's just a really tough time after my mom had passed, and I just maybe used my artwork. Well, I know that I use my artwork as a process to grieve. I really didn't want to talk about um, everything that happened. And so I just used my artwork and my sketchbooks as my escape. And so I really dove deep into it. And then I started taking some art courses and thought maybe I could try to make this work. So anyway, I'm just going to show you my sketchbooks, and I will kind of talk with you through them. But if you aren't into me talking through them, I will leave at the end. I'll kind of go through the sketchbooks with just music so you don't have to hear me talk. But anyway, so I'll show you those now. Here is a sketch of the illustration that I did with a Bible verse. So this sketchbook, I did a lot of just black and white line work. I never really did color. So here is one of the samples of the artwork that I had sent to the companies, but they said no thank you. But that's okay. Everything happens for a reason. I'll show you some of my favorite pieces that I did. I think I was doing a 100-day challenge. This is one of my favorites that I did. So at this time, I was taking a lettering class, Matt's class, and this was last year. And I was trying to get more loose in my work. If you follow me, a lot of barn owls in my work. And I kind of will probably do another video on the why of that. But this is a sketchbook that I did in 2024, the 100-day challenge. And so just different. I think this was the first sketchbook that I actually filled up. But again, I was doing the lettering, the Matt's lettering class. This one I was doing a little bit of illustrated journaling. Here I did some daylilies that I thought those were fun. I like to paint daylilies. I have a bunch in my yard. I was doing a live drawing session with Emma Carlisle, her Patreon. That was fun. And this is at a park near our home. Here is a seed packet, and again doing the lettering class. This is my daughter, so I did it 2 different ways just to see which one I liked better. And I did the same with my daughter-in-law. It's funny how you do the same photo, but they end up just slightly different. Here I was really into doing a lot of birds and painting birds. I really like this, and I used ink on the background and then just loose line drawing. That was fun. Here's more lettering. And I filled up the sketchbook. This is a sketchbook that I did and doing some line drawing and drawing from life. I was drawing people at the bookstore. This is from going to Amish country here in Ohio. My husband and I went on a little trip Labor Day weekend. last year. That was fun. That is a room. I went to a women's retreat last year, and that was my room. And there's some sketches from out on the lake there. The seagulls. Then this is another place. We go to this place every year. I don't know if you've heard of it, Cliftonville in Ohio, and that's our family tradition. Every Christmas, that's where we go. It was a Christmas challenge, and I painted this Santa Claus and scanned him in, and then made digital art. I also did it with this one too. I think this is the first time I really wanted to do some boxes, but in a loose and quick way. That's another thing that I've been trying to do, is not be so precious about my work. Trying to get it done in a faster way. I don't know, I think it gives more energy to the work. So that's my outside this window. I got a bird feeder for Christmas last year, and it was chaos, and it was fun to watch. And we also had geese that flew over the house every day. Here is my dog Willow. I think it was a challenge, room challenge, and I just it was a sketch of another room. This isn't our living room, but I put Willow in the drawing. This is the hotel that we stayed in when we went to Amish country last year. And this is me just playing around with lettering and the ink that was on my desk. This was a sketch at my friend's house, her lake place, and I liked this woodpecker. He was checking out the bird feeders. He wanted to get in on the action, but he was acting kind of shy. We also saw a family of deer. That was fun to see. So I'd taken a picture, and I sketched from the picture. This is something I love to paint too all the time. These Pyrex bowls. My daughter-in-law got these for me, and I just love them. I've done so many drawings from those Pyrex bowls. This is geraniums outside on the back porch, but to try to duplicate the neon pink color, I still haven't been able to get that down. I'm gonna keep trying though. This is from my desk, and a quote from Bingo. Another owl. This is from my daughter's tea set. Our shed last year, well this year, decided to go kaput during a storm, so we went through all the totes and I found her old tea set and I wanted to draw that Peter Rabbit tea set. And I was just playing around with gesso in the background. I'm playing around with wonky lettering. Another owl. This is from a retreat this year. I've never really drawn fish before. We went to a koi pond and I thought it was super interesting to watch them, so I painted from a photo that we took there. And these are lily moths. I saw those on Pinterest. I was just looking at different moth pictures, reference photos, and I thought the colors of this lily moth were so interesting. So that's the end for that one. This is a Stillman and Burn sketchbook, and this is my favorite sketchbook. They're kind of pricey, but they're worth it. This one is from this year, and I got this, I believe in February. Just sketching from life. I don't know what I was doing there. Another empty page. I tend to skip around in my sketchbooks. Here was Mother's Day. We went to a garden. So I was sketching. Here I've got into some meanings of different flowers, like the symbolism. Here I was trying out my oil pastels that I got. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of oil pastels. It really is like working with crayons and you can't really manipulate them, so I'm getting used to oil pastels. This one I just did, I believe last week. I was collecting some leaves out in the yard, and my husband, he likes to pick out leaves for me. And then this is, I literally just did this yesterday. And I picked up some old seed packets from the antique mall and was playing around with lettering and painting those, and that was fun. So I hope you liked looking at my sketchbooks over the last couple years and taking a look at my paintings that I did in the early 2000s. It's definitely been a journey trying to figure out this art world. But one thing I do love is playing around and experimenting in my sketchbooks. And I was wanting to know, do you like sketchbooks as well? And what's your favorite brand? Leave me a comment below this video and let me know. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.